Hey everybody, welcome back to the Apartment 83 podcast.
Hello.
It's been a hot minute. Sickness in the family again, but it's cool because this is going to be the first episode where there's a video.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about it.
I fucking lied, actually. This is the second episode because we did the Christmas one.
Yes, totally forgot which one. I'm looking at this one over here.
Yeah, or not. Or we don't look at it.
Okay.
That's a thing.
That's a new thing.
And that's just one of those, like, camera, they do with the Daily Show. Follow me, camera 3 over here. And then Jon Stewart's like, nah, or whatever he says.
You can't look at it. Don't look at the camera.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard not to look at the cameras now that we keep talking about it.
That's the thing. You'll forget about it.
Yes.
You'll forget that it's there. Because you even said, I forgot that it's there.
I did forget it was there.
So on Friday, just a couple days ago, Tommy turned 31.
No, I didn't. I turned 31.
It's like I turned 30 again. I wanted to say that because address this because I recently, I'm like 2.5 months out from being 40. When people talk to me and I'm just like, dude, I'm fucking 40. I'm already there. And then as you get older, is it just like you're embracing, like you turn 61, I'm 70, fuck you. Like, is that what you do? Is that what happens?
I don't know. It was weird turning 31 though. It's offspring all over again.
Yeah.
He asked for a 13, but they drew a 31.
Oh.
I always think about that. We've talked about this before.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh.
Turning 31, I just keep thinking about that Offspring song.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, you're right. We did. Huh.
Yeah, it was very, it was okay. I got a beautifully decorated rock from
You know
my
what
daughter.
You know what I'm more cognizant of now?
What?
My posture, because I know there's a camera center. And
Dude, oh my God, my mom told me some crazy
Sorry to interrupt
shit
you about your daughter's gorgeous rock that she made for you, but I'm just sitting here going, I'm like, oh no, you're slouched. Don't sit up.
Am I slouched? Am I slouched now? Is that you? Like, my mom told me some crazy posture shit. Like, she was like, trying to work out and stay like focused on all that stuff.
Yeah.
She's like, I have like a really bad drumming back. I've noticed, and it's just like
where you're always kind of hunched a little bit because you're just there.
I can't stand it. That. I like people make fun of me because I'm short, but then when I stand up straight, it's a total different story. Dude.
Yeah,
it's so weird. But my mom was explaining to me that she's like, imagine you're breathing, right, and you breathe in through your nose. Imagine the airway going through your nose, and you breathe down your spine. And she's like, and when you breathe down your spine, it's almost like your spine naturally corrects itself and straight. But she's like, you need to focus breathing in and sending it down your spine. So ever since then, I've been doing that, and I could almost feel the air going down the spine and me standing up more straight.
It's like saying, don't think of an octopus. Now you're thinking of an octopus.
Yeah.
Now that it's in your head, it's a thing that you're just like even subconsciously aware.
But now you have really good posture.
I'm really trying.
So
here's the thing. If you could tell and you can't from the camera, the way that I'm sitting, I believe, is how it is that the Instagram girls who are the butt models stick out their ass so that my spine is relatively straight. Because normally I'm like Bernie Sanders. I'm like mid-chest with my head down here.
Yeah.
But which actually apparently is an actual disorder.
Scoliosis.
It's like sunken head something or other.
Oh.
It's like, it was just, they were talking about it on your mom's house.
Oh.
Tom Segura took a picture, I think,
Quasimodo,
of a guy maybe at an airport or a hotel or something, where walking behind him, it literally looked like he didn't have a head. It was this guy probably in the 70s.
Oh.
And his head was so far down, and it was just like this, but he was standing upright, and you probably find it. And immediately he goes, and I started sitting up straighter, and he sent the pictures to his wife. She goes, I immediately started sitting up straighter.
Yeah,
so it's like my posture's garbage. But I'm sticking my butt out, right? And my back curved and my guts hanging over. But thankfully the table's here. But that's how I feel like I'm sitting to sit straighter.
Yeah. Well, now you'll see. I looked at the camera. Shit. But now you'll see your back. But dude, this. Look at his back.
Oh God, what is going on?
It's terrifying.
Oh my God, what is going on with that?
Do you know who this is? Do you know what this is?
Well, it's the teaser trailer for the new Joker movie.
Yeah, but it's
that Mark Maron is in, by the way.
Mark Maron,
the comic,
the wrestler.
No, Mark Maron, the comic that I talk about all the time. WTF, the What the Fuck podcast.
Oh, okay, he's in this.
Yeah, he's in it. I don't even think it's a cameo necessarily. I think it's like he's in it for not a long time, but yeah, he was talking about it recently. How
that's cool.
Going out to do the shoots, staying in New York and somewhere. He wouldn't say specifically, obviously, because it's a closed set, but somewhere in Jersey they were shooting whatever he was in. But
oh my God, this movie looks amazing. The Joker. I really can't wait to see it. But look at his fucking back, dude. Yeah, that's terrifying.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's a cool flick. I really can't wait for it.
Ugh. Is that scoliosis?
I don't know what the fuck that was. That was terrifying. Let's see some scoliosis. How do you even spell scoliosis? Skull, like the tobacco?
I don't think so. It's probably SCO. Like tobacco. You get some tobacco guy fucking hitting us up. Hey guys, you're misrepresenting the product.
Fuck you,
says the smoker.
I like tobacco. What happened to the Siri thing? Here we go.
Do you have that on yours?
Scoliosis.
He does.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. It looks like it's going left or right.
Oh, ribs fucked up.
Man, that's just. Ugh.
Yeah. How does that happen? How do you manage to fuck your spine up like that?
All I know is I remember in like K through 8th grade when Dr. Happy Hands would come in. That's what we called the. That's what we called the doctor who came and did all he'd check your testes and shit. So that's what, at least at Sweet Home, that's what we called the guy. And I'd feel bad for the dude because he was just a doctor trying to make sure kids were okay.
Yeah.
And we're all like a bunch of shitheads.
That's pretty funny.
But, I just remember like, all right, now bend over at your toes and try to touch them or whatever. And he just runs his finger down your spine. I'm like, that feels weird. And I was like, well, you don't have scoliosis, so you're better off, you dick. Like, he's get out of the office.
Get the fuck out. Yeah, this would suck. This looks very painful.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, because everything's out of alignment then.
Like, imagine having your ribs shoot up to the left like that.
Yeah.
How do you... No.
You almost like, what was it? Guys are so say. You're dragging your leg and your spine's all fucked up and you're leaning to the side because your shit's all over. And then he just stands up straight.
That is so funny.
Yeah. That guy's a dick.
He is a dick.
Too bad he's one of the best actors ever live.
Terrifying.
Some shit out there. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know how I felt about this Joker movie. I'm like, I heard Joaquin Phoenix, and after he did that whole thing where he was pretending to be the rapper or whatever, and Casey Affleck, who was also kind of questionable with his conduct, was the guy who was directing the thing the whole time. I'm just like, I was already okay with you, and now I'm like, shut up. So
wait, well, he was directing him being a weirdo?
So the whole thing is they're really good friends, and they came up with the concept together. Remember how he kind of went off the deep end? He had the beard, the long hair. He was writing a rap album. He was really like aloof and weird on like Conan and
I do remember that.
And Letterman and everything. Everyone's like, this is a shtick. It's a shtick. He's like, no, man, it's real. It was a shtick. The whole fucking thing was a setup.
Yeah.
And the whole time Casey Affleck is recording, filming, directing, taking the footage from the shows and stuff. I don't know if they actually ever cut it into something. I think that they did. But that was the whole process. That was the plan, right from the start.
Yeah.
And everyone, like midway through this, I think it was a year. About 6 months in, 5-6 months in, people are like, this is some bullshit. We know this. There are people right away who are just like, no, this is fucking horseshit. This isn't real. And there's some people who are all the way to that, no, he's an artist. He's a fucking weirdo. And that's fine. That's cool, man. We got space for all of the weirdos.
Joaquin.
We're all weirdos in some way, shape, or form. But ever since then, I'm just like, I can't take you seriously in your craft.
Well, this is terrifying.
Maybe that's on me. Maybe it's on me that I'm closed-minded, that I can't take you and your craft seriously when part of your craft is trying to ruse everyone. That's what acting is. It's fucking lying. It's faking. That's exactly what it is. And I always think it's funny when it's usually comics, because like that's pretty much the world I live in as far as what I absorb content-wise. They're shitting on actors in this respect of saying, actors are actors because they want people to pay attention to them all the time. I'm like, you go on stage in front of hundreds to thousands of people and talk to make them laugh because you're trying to repair your damaged past as a child, which you all talk about openly. You know what I mean? It's like, anyone who's really genuinely funny, you probably come from a fucked up childhood. That's true. Not everyone, but probably most of them. And they all will admit that. They'll say it out loud. They've all said it on multiple podcasts, multiple shows. Funny. And so I'm like, well, you're no better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
do you say it because it's funny then to call that out? Because you're calling out yourself for having a fucked up childhood, right? And that's why you're a comic. And then you're calling out actors for needing this attention all the time. Probably because they might have had a fucked up childhood. And maybe not. Maybe they just seek attention. Well, comics seek attention for a different reason. Either way, show business is show business. A lot of musicians do what they do. You know what I mean?
Tribe Called Quest song, and he's like, rule number 38,398. Record company people are shady or something like that. It's so funny. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's awesome.
It's that's the way I see it. So it's like, and that's fine, dude. I think everyone is looking for some kind of attention in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah.
You are. I think as a human being, you have to. I think that's just sort of rote in us. I don't know.
Yeah. Whether it's painting or being funny or music.
I always just think it's, funny when somebody calls somebody else out about it. Like, and again, comics, they're just like, dude, you know what I fucking can't stand is all these guys on Instagram who are working out every day. We get it. You're in the gym. Right. So this Chris DiStefano, he's a really funny comic. I like him. I recently started following him. I was aware of him before, but he's really good. He posted something to Instagram. It might have been in a story or possibly just a video. I think he's in New York and he's talking about that specific idea. He goes, I go to the gym every day just, to have this soft, doughy body, but I go to the gym every day. Do you see me posting about it? And then my buddy, Joe Santagato, I say buddy jokingly, he has no idea who I am, responded in the comments something like the laughing face or whatever.
Yeah.
In this or agreeing with it. So I responded to Joe's comment saying, I said, The Rock, Kevin Hart, Cameron Haynes, David Goggins, Joe Santagato. I don't know if that's something like, hey, I don't know about this one, buddy. And then Chris DiStefano liked my comment.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's like I get when you're a comedian, especially when you're going to social media, unless you're somebody like Joe who's like, oh yeah, I'm out running with my dog. This isn't about being funny. You know, this is whatever. Almost none of them are like that. He's very rare. He's just an enigma. When it's somebody else, it's like, yeah, I'm driving this traffic to my Instagram in order to help continue to promote what I do for my career, which I understand. That's why it's there for businesses. I fucking get it. That's what I do too. I posted about pasta and thinking that if you saw Scarlett Johansson on the Hot Ones when she was almost going to throw up from that chicken wing, that I said, is that hot? I don't know. Is it hot? Like, that's ridiculous. That's stupid to say. But I'm trying to be funny. Trying to get attention.
Wait, Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett. Did I say Charlotte?
You said Charlotte.
Did I? Scarlett. Yes. Come on. There's only one.
There is only one.
And I didn't know. She's only 34.
Really?
I Googled it while I was watching the show. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that can't be right. It's on her Wikipedia. She's 34.
She's only 3 years older than me.
That's crazy, right?
Weird.
Because she's been around for a minute.
Yeah, I thought she was like way
like a solid 10, which means that she was 24 when she started doing like the big shows.
Such a good actress. She makes it seem like she's fucking way older.
I really didn't think she was. I figured she was probably around 40, but I mean, maybe I didn't triple verify.
Don John, have you ever seen that movie?
Oh God, that was so good.
I didn't like that movie whatsoever.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
But she was so good on it. She's not amazing. Fucking 34 years old.
She was amazing in that movie. She was really great. Yeah. She played the role perfectly.
Yeah.
And I liked what's his name? The guy who was the lead. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I think I just fell in love with Scarlett Johansson.
I really liked that movie. Like I kind of identified with the topic. If you don't know what it is, look it up or don't. If you're in my family, please don't. It was good. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't know. So anyway, I said the thing about, I posted a video about wanting to go on the show and needing to know what the hot sauces are ahead of time so I could condition myself because Scarlett Johansson's on right now and it looks like she's going to barf. And then I'm like, and I think it might be hot. Is that hot? I'm not sure. Why would I say that? Oh, other than to be funny and to get attention. So I get why they do that.
Well, it is fun to be funny.
Yeah. Right?
I think I'm funny. Am I funny?
You're funny. I've never heard you tell a joke.
I don't know if I could tell a joke right off the top of my head. How do you tell jokes as a comedian though? Is it like jokes or is it just you making fun of shit that you come across?
It depends on the comic. Look, Jerry Seinfeld tells jokes.
Yeah.
Right? Henny Youngman, all those old dudes, they told jokes. Cosby, aside from the fucking horror show that it was that he was a human being, told stories. Right?
Yeah.
He was a humorist. Same thing with Samuel Clemens, right? Mark Twain.
Bill Burr.
Mark Twain was a storyteller. He tells jokes within stories, I feel like.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff now is storytelling. I think it depends on the comic. Everybody's different.
Yeah. I guess so.
Like Neil Brennan had a special, it's called 3 Mics, it's on Netflix, and he has 3 separate microphones on the stage. And I might be fucking butchering this. One microphone, he would tell jokes, basically like one-liners, right?
Yeah.
Or set up punchline kind of thing. The second microphone, he was telling short story jokes. And then on the third mic, I think he was kind of comedically talking about his fucked up life.
Yeah.
Like childhood to adulthood kind of thing. And it was super popular. I got 10 minutes into it before I had to stop watching it for some reason, and I haven't got back to it yet. But that's where it's like that dude broke down in 3 different ways.
Yeah.
I think I watched Ray Romano. I watched his new special that's on Netflix right now. I think it's called Around the Corner. He does 2 separate spots at 2 clubs around the corner from each other in New York on the same night.
Yeah.
And it was really good. Some jokes, but kind of based in story around his life. Bert Kreischer, everything's about his life. Every joke that he tells, every story that he tells is always about his life, his kids, being the #1 party animal in the country, like all the things that, that he's done.
That's pretty funny.
So but I mean, as far as the craft goes with crafting the jokes, that's just on each individual is different. Some dudes never write anything down. I don't think Brian Regan writes anything down. You know who he is?
No idea.
He's that really clean comic. He's the guy who, he's from Florida, and oh, dude, you know who Brian Regan is. Just Google his face real quick. You'll know exactly who he is. He's super popular with families and stuff because he's very clean. He works completely clean, but he's really funny. But I don't think he writes anything down. I know that.
This dude?
Yeah. Sebastian Maniscalco. He doesn't write anything down either, and he's huge right now. I think he did 4 or 5 shows sold out at the Garden in New York, right? They don't write anything down. They just know the stories in their head, and they just, the story might be different each time, but they're hitting the same points. Yeah. Rogan is very methodical in the way that he writes. He uses a program called Scrivener, I want to say, where it's just the black screen with the green text, right? It blacks out everything. You can't see your other apps or anything. You can't go, let me check Twitter or Facebook, whatever. You can't. It blocks out all the other shit. And there's like a column on the left that breaks down so you can have categories. So it's like you click on, so the topic could be, garbage day, right? And then in there is all your notes and stuff that you wrote out about garbage day. And then you can actually move them around to kind of set up your set. And so he uses that. He records every single set that he does on his phone. He just puts his phone out on the record app and just records the set, and he listens to it on the way home. And when he gets home from the store, he writes for an hour or two and just writes all the material out, sketches things out.
So sick.
So he's really methodical with what he does. I don't know what Louis, what his situation is. He was putting out a special a year, and the only person that I knew that did that before him was George Carlin. George Carlin was putting out a special a year for like 10 years. He had an HBO special every year for like 10 years or more.
Oh, that's so sick.
And so they're just always writing. They're just always, whether it's in their head or whether it's sketched out on paper or on the computer or in their notes on their phone. Everybody's a little bit different with what they do, but it's the same batch of stuff that everybody kind of falls into,
How to become a stand-up comedian.
Oh, Jesus, don't even.
Laughter is the shortest distance between two people.
My God.
Just be terribly negative.
Oh, Victor.
Hate yourself.
Victor Borg. I know who that is. Okay.
How do I know if stand-up comedy is right for me? The answer to this one is easy.
All I see is watch the Dane Cook episode of Louis at Louis C.K. for a taste. That was great, by the way, if you've never seen it. So, they kind of had there was a falling out they had years ago. Because amongst the other accusations against Dane Cook of stealing material, he was accused of stealing material from Louis.
Really?
Yes. And the two of them, they were, so Louis had the show called Louis. He had whatever the one was that was on HBO. Lucky Louie, right? Mm-hmm. And then he had the show on FX called Louie. And there's an episode where he wants to get tickets to see Lady Gaga for his daughter for her birthday. And the only person that works, that is a comic that anyone knows, whose representation is the same company, the same person as Dane Cook, is Lady Gaga rather, is Dane Cook. So he has to go hat in hand to Dane Cook to ask for if he can help him out with his favor.
Yeah.
For tickets to see Lady Gaga for his daughter.
Oh my God.
And they have this sort of back and forth about it. And he's like, dude, look, I didn't steal. They have this out on the show, which is funny because it happened in real life, where it's just like, I didn't steal from you. It's parallel thinking. And you're familiar with that concept?
Yeah.
Okay. It's, it's parallel thinking. I didn't steal it from you, whatever. And ultimately Dane Cook convinces him to not worry about the tickets for Lady Gaga because there's something more important in life than that. And it was something about showing he did something else for his daughter instead, thinking that it would be a better thing to do than some fleeting moment of getting the tickets to see the show. And then when he tells her what he got her, and she goes, well, you couldn't get tickets for Lady Gaga? He's like, well, no, I figured I'd do this, blah, blah, blah. She was so pissed off, she walks out of the room. And he's sitting there with his fucking head in his hands going, fuck Dane Cook. It was a good episode.
Oh my God.
It was really funny. They're in the green room backstage of one of his shows at some big stadium or something, one of his arena tours when he was huge. And Louis in there just whatever.
And it was a skit?
No, it was part of the show. The show Louis was loosely based on his life. Yeah. Kind of like Maron was loosely based on Mark Maron's life that was on IFC.
Wait, so Dane Cook didn't steal anything of it?
Still debatable. Oh, the point is whatever the issue is, they reached some sort of an understanding, an agreement, or whatever, that they were not only able to get past it, I think professionally to some degree, but also that he was willing to come on the show and Dane was willing to come on the show. Louis was willing to have him on the show, to have this out, to have this be the sketch, to have this be this part of this episode.
Oh, good for them, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I was just like, what?
That's funny. Here you go. How do I write a joke? Again, there is no way to do this, but whether you are taking your comical cues from Kathy Griffin...
Dear God, how old is this article?
Or Chris Rock.
Was this before or after she put out that picture of the bleeding head of our current leader, which basically almost got her lynched?
Yeah, right.
Dude, that almost ended her career.
Stay away from politics.
Unless you're really good. If you're starting out, stay the fuck away from politics. You know who's really great at political humor? Louis Black.
Yes.
Louis Black is fantastic at that. He's really good at it.
Tap your authentic, funny self. The audience is there to see you, whether you're famous or not. The more real you are with the audience, the more they respond to you. I'm just going to go do it one
So that's
day.
the idea, is just like, when I think about what I might say, and I've talked about it ad nauseum on the show and with other people about, my long-standing desire to do this, which I probably never will.
You should.
I think about, well, look, it would be, I do some open mics here and maybe get like a local spot.
And just call it Nick Too Late.
And that would be it. Like, there's no chance of me trying to go on as an opener on the road. There's no chance of me middling. I'm not trying to be a headliner. It's just never going to happen. And I'm fine with that. There's too much. Look, at 40, because I am now, at 40, way too old to go starting into this with the two kids. The one's 2 years old. Like, it's not feasible. It doesn't make sense.
That's the beauty about being a comic.
Is the thing that when people think about,
I'm like almost
Tom
jealous.
Segura and Christina and Mark and Joe and all those people, right, who are all comics that are super, they're very popular, really famous now. They spent 10 plus years each just eating bags of shit on stage in these crappy clubs and fucking Chinese food restaurants and stuff in fucking Boston. No, it's legit. It's real. They've all talked about it.
Well, that's
so
thing,
people
though.
get upset about them, like, oh, you're flying first class, you're all special. Like, do you understand that, like, I ate a bag of dicks every night for 15 straight years to be able to do this?
See, that's the difference between back then and now. Like, as long as you're funny and you know what you're doing and you're professional about it, you could be huge overnight. Like, I think you should
not
do
in the
it.
world of stand-up, man. Eliza Schlesinger is like a single example. She was on she was one of the people on Last Comic Standing. I think by the time she got to that show, she'd only been doing it for like 2 years, and she won. That's a rarity, dude. That's a fucking diamond in the rough. That's some fucking Aladdin shit. That doesn't happen. It doesn't. It's so rare. Genuinely, she's very funny. She found a niche audience for herself. She's great, right? But I mean, there are so many. Like I've said before, and it's been said a dozen times, because of social media, because of all the access of Hulu and Netflix and Showtime and HBO, still everybody wanting more comics are selling out more theaters than ever in the history of comedy.
Yeah.
Ever. That's
why I feel like it's almost. I like envy the...
But there's still only 52 weekends in a year. And that's what a lot of comics talk about. It's like, all right, so yeah, we're going to, all the improvs book you, right? So you got to lock on a deal, right? As maybe a headliner with the improv chain. I think that's maybe 15, 20 improvs. I think that might be a lot. It's enough though, right? It's enough that if you lock down and you have that contract with them, you're doing these weekends, right? So you do all these weekends. There's only so many other weekends available for other headliners. So there's only so much space as far as clubs go for the number of people that are out there. And with everything today, there's such an oversaturation of all these different markets.
Yeah.
How many musicians are going in a Guitar Center and, buying a mid-level Epiphone and like, oh, I got my band. And like, I'm still the same asshole. I was not successful as a musician. I still love what I did. And, whatever, but I don't think I was due any more than I got. Yeah. And I didn't have any delusions of grandeur that I'd fucking make it someday. But the people who do have a tendency to make it if they're really, really good.
I like the idea of stand-up comedy because you could just do it for yourself. If you're in a band, you have to find like 3 other people.
Yeah, you usually have to lock in with other personalities.
They got to be friends, and then it's one dude. There's always one fucking dude. It's either a bass player or a singer that's a douchebag, or like they're just like.
You're not speaking from personal experience at all, or anything.
I'm not speaking. I mean. Our bass player was not a douchebag, but usually 9 times out of 10, the bass player or the singer is a fucking douchebag. So, with that being said, I envy comics because you could just literally just show up and be like, whoa, whatever. And you gotta load shit out.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, worst case scenario, you bring your own mic so you make sure that it doesn't smell like asshole.
Yeah, covered in spit.
Oh, God. I've just heard too many stories told by comics about, like, yeah, it went up. And it's like you're that person at the 1 a.m. spot at the store in the main room. Blech. It's like there's been 20 other people ahead of you. And it's just like, I know all of these people and all of your aides are on my microphone.
I'm just going to bring my own microphone from now on.
Hannibal Buress tells a great story about how he was on some tour where he was, I think there was a band that opened for him, I want to say, where the thing that the singer was known for doing was shoving the microphone up his ass on the last song. And his whole thing was, so like, we got a different mic that or do we have like some Lysol or some shit so we don't have, because you just do it assed out the microphone. And can we get another microphone so I don't have to worry about it? Because this dude shoved up his ass. And he goes, oh, no. The singer brings his own microphone that he shoved up his ass.
Oh, that is so gross.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that like G.G. Allen used to do.
I fucking hate G.G. Allen. I hate that dude.
I barely know anything about him. I'm aware of him on the periphery, barely and all.
Hate G.G. Allen.
But I just always think about that. Like I played a good handful of shows in the 4 or 5 years the band was around, and every time you go up, that mic fucking stank like somebody's fucking halitosis.
I never disgusting. Had that problem. I always
you behind your drum set. You didn't have to worry about it.
A drummer joke for you. You know Fred Armisian? Or how do you say his last name?
Fred Armisen?
Armisen, whatever the fuck it is.
Yes. This is not the first time we've talked about him on the show.
Oh, it's not? No. I stay saying his name wrong.
Yeah. Because I think I made the joke Fred Parmesan last time.
Oh, Fred Parmesan. What is it? Fred what?
Armisen.
Okay. It's not Armisian?
No, it's not.
He makes these jokes about drummers and stuff like that, but he like misses some like good ones. Like there's another one like I was telling my mom, I was like, there's always one fucking drummer. You'll get there. We'll get there nice and early. I'll set my shit up. Mm-hmm. Everything's nice, good, ready to go. It takes me about 2 hours to fucking do it. Everything's all set. We're all good. And then the opening drummer will show up and then he'll be like, so I'm using your drums, right? And you'll be like, what? No, I just fucking spent all day doing this. And you're just going to like show up. You're going to play my drums.
No.
And I was like, absolutely not.
Bitch, you bring your own shit.
And then, of course, 9 times out of 10, it's, well, can we use the drum riser? I was like, dude, again, we've been here since, let's say, noon. We've been here since noon.
You roll in around noon?
Yeah, and you guys show up, it's like an hour before doors. And like my drums have been up here for like 6 hours now at some whatever point, or however it is. But it's just like that is always a thing.
The thing that you even have to address that question is aggravating to me.
Yeah, you have no idea. It is like a plague in the drumming community. Like a drummer set his shit up, be all good. Some dude will show up and be like, "So I'm using your drums. Can I use your drums?"
Yeah, we never played any shows where there was anybody who was a headliner that was already except for the Ataris when we brought them. I'm still pretty proud of that. And actually, I got to give all the props to my brother. He did all the fucking legwork. He reached out to them. He emailed them and said, "Hey, you guys coming through?" It was the first time they came to Buffalo. We played at Backstage Pub. I don't even know what it is now. Last time I checked, it was some like not racist. I think it was a Puerto Rican bar because it was 2 doors down from the Continental, and the Continental got torn down years ago now, like 10 years ago.
Jeez, Backstage Pub.
Yeah, Backstage Pub. And we played with the Atari. So I think that's the only time really that we ever played a show where it wasn't just like a local show where you set up, breakdown, set up, breakdown, set up, breakdown. I think that was the only time there was like an actual headliner.
That's cool.
I didn't deal with that a lot. But
no, you didn't. At least Gary brought his own fucking drum kit and knew what he had to do. That is the work. In
the meantime, I'm having to lug Steve-O's amp around for him.
Oh my God.
Steve-O, I love you, buddy. I miss you.
Was he one of those guys, Steve-O?
It's not that he couldn't do it. It's just that his mind was other places a lot of times, I feel like. And because I'm just bigger and stronger, I could just do it faster. So it just made more sense to me. I didn't even do it begrudgingly. I just did it. I'm like, I got to set up Steve's amp.
We would get...
and he's got to tune his guitar while I'm setting up 2 rigs. And it just was like, whatever. It was fine. I really... Dude, I love you. I never had a problem. You're one of my best friends in this world, and I miss you, bud. But yeah, that was what I did. And in that time, Bob took that same amount of time to set up his bass, and Gary took maybe about the same, if not just a slight bit longer to finish setting up his drums, depending on where we were.
I'm going to have to defend Gary here. I guarantee Gary was the first one done.
I don't know. It's more components. That's why I say that.
Drummers are always the first ones done. We are always the first ones finished sound checking. We're always the first one at sound check. Everybody. I think we've talked about this.
But
too.
what about the breakdown though? Drummers aren't always the first one off
No,
the
the
stage.
breakdown is the worst.
That's what I'm saying. So if we were waiting, right? If we weren't the first band up, we were waiting for that band to break down their drums. He had a late start, so it wasn't that he took longer. It's just that by the finish time, he was after we were done. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
All right. So amps, boom, they're off the stage right away. Amps are on. Guy's still breaking out his drum kit. I've already started setting up amplifiers. This dude's still breaking down. So Gary's starting later. So by the actual, whatever that finished stopwatch time is, isn't the same. So he probably set up in less time, but it took longer
breakdown is definitely
because the breakdown is with the bitch.
You're super tired.
And that's the thing, though. You figure, have a friend. Nicole, my sister, she used to help us all the time, lugging around gear and stuff. She would carry amps and shit. It was great.
Oh, there's always a tech.
Yeah.
It's always fun to have a tech.
The family love. You just pop up on stage and you just take the whole thing, the whole kit, just pick it up, take it off the side.
Yeah. It's really funny bringing the experience to local shows and stuff like that, because there was a show at Lock House and the drummer, nobody knew what to do with the bass drum mic. The bass drum mic kept falling off the thing, but they kept ever so slightly putting it in the bass, and I was just watching them. It kept falling off, so I was like, "Fuck this!" I just walked right on the stage, and you just take the whole thing and you just shove it in the fucking it's fine. It's fine. It's a live show. You just shove it in there, and then it's just funny bringing that experience to
You're just looking at him going, "What are you doing?"
I know, you're just like, "Oh my god, dude, fine," and you just walk out and you just put it in there. But another funny thing is, as drummers always done, I think we've talked about this. It's fucking sound check, right? So you'll get there. Hypothetically speaking, we're a headlining band, right? We get there a couple hours before everybody else. We set up everything, all the drums and shit, all the guitars, everybody's all right. We're like, all right, go do your thing. It's like, oh, sick. You want to go get some food? I'm really fucking hungry. Yeah, let's go get some food.
Yeah.
We're out the door to go get some food. You're weak, hungry. You're about to go get some food. And it's like, oh, it's sound check, guys. And you're just like, what? We're going to go get some food with everybody else. No, it's time to sound check. So you miss your fucking food. You're starving. You go sit behind your drum kit. Everyone's ready to sound check. So you start jamming. Everyone's like, stop playing. Stop playing. We're still working. You're like, okay.
Put the shit in your rider.
What?
Put the shit in your rider. Once we finish setting up, we get food before we do fucking sound check.
But it's just so weird. There's the 3 hour before sound check, and then the 4 hour sound check, and then the doors and shit.
4 hour sound check?
It's just sometimes it's just retarded.
Why?
Ooh, sorry, ridiculous.
Yeah, it happens.
And
you didn't mean it that way. It's yeah, what are you gonna do?
Sorry, but you get there, you're fucking playing, so it's like, all right, hit each drum. So you start hitting each drum.
Yeah, it's like doom, doom, doom.
Stop. Jeff, play guitar.
Why does the guitar need to play?
You're like, you motherfuckers rushed me to get here to play drums. I start playing drums, and you guys are like, don't play.
You hit the first tom. Doom. No, Jeff.
Stop playing. It always happens.
The fucking tuning song?
It always happens.
Oh, the tuning song's the best, right?
It is the worst. You're like, stop playing. We're trying to figure out the amps. And it's just like,
what amps? There's a
the
bass.
sound check is ready.
There's a bass and a guitar. You have one. For you guys, you had a bass and a guitar. You never had two guitars, right?
We did.
Oh, you did at some point? Okay. All right. Left and right. Pan it. You're good.
But it's just so funny how
it's not fucking difficult.
How sound check works for every band. Damn it. It's just like they rush you. You're ready to play some drums. It's like, I didn't want to play drums at first. And then you sit behind your drum kit and you're like, fuck yeah, Cadillac. Okay, let's play some drums. And they're like, no. And then 2 hours later, and then you're like, all right, play the whole kit. You're like, oh my god. And then you play one song, and then you're like, I want to play some drums. They're like, no, doors are open now. You gotta go. You're just like,
And in the meantime, you didn't get to eat.
I did not get to eat.
Because
then you go, and if the one time I did, you go push it, and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go eat, and it's the worst experience of your life because you eat, you have all that food, and then 3 minutes later you go play a show, and it's fucking hot and gross and like. It's awful.
So Steve and I took recording classes at Select Sound. You know what that is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
And
Backstage Pub and Select Sound, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, going way back. So we and when we did the recording project, right, for the whole class, we would have a band come in and do a track, right? We would record the track, whether it was Pro Tools or.
Did we know each other?
Yeah.
Dude, because you know what is really
maybe not yet.
I don't know, dude, because I remember you had a don't forget what you were saying, by the way. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I remember you had a class and you had to mix a song from a church band, and I remember hearing...
Oh, no. That wasn't... No, that if it was a church band...
I don't know if it was a church band.
That was Bob Calabrese's stuff.
I remember...
That was Bob's project when I was in college maybe 10 years ago. Well, 2007, 2008, I want to say.
But I just remember hearing the drums and loving how everything sounded. It sounded like perfect to me. I don't know.
No, that can't be it because the drums...
Oh, I can't remember.
No, because the drums on that were all... they were BFD. They were all triggered. I manually placed in hits for all the kick and snare.
Do you still have it? Because maybe this will... It was me, you, Josh. I don't know if Steve-O was there. Me, you, Josh, Bob, at your house, practicing acoustically.
At my house?
Yes, when you lived in Kenmore. With
okay, yeah.
That's when I heard this. You had played it for everybody because they wanted to hear it.
I don't know if I tracked that then. No, I think that was us. I think that was the stuff that we tracked using that because that was that same Yamaha recorder that we used in the practice space.
I remember it being for a class of something. I don't know.
You know what? Maybe. And so I had a couple different things. Hang on. I need to write down this name. Joe Dezilak. I'm spelling it wrong, but I'll figure it out. Steve Matucci. I need these notes for later. Come on. Because I'm thinking that it was that. There was, I think that was our 2-inch class, the 24-track 2-inch reel-to-reel.
That's fucking cool.
Because he was playing guitar on that, and then he had, I think it was his brother who was the drummer, who had this crazy, like, Neil Peart kit. It didn't have as many drums and shit, but it was a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure there was a bar, like, you know. And then this other dude who was with them who played keys and sang, and I think they just tracked bass. It was a song that they did. But I remember the guitar. Joe is an amazing guitar player. Joe is one of the... God, Joe's got to be... Fuck, he's got to be like 50 now. He's at least 10 years older than me, I think. But that's unimportant. Dude is an incredible, phenomenal guitar player. And at the time, I remember the guitar he was playing was a Les Paul Custom. It was an ebony, right? But all of the hardware, I want to say, was mirror. Like the pick guard was a mirror.
Yeah.
And he bought that guitar, and it had EMGs in it. It had active EMGs in it. This is going to make no sense to 99% of the people listening to the podcast. But he had gotten it. He bought it from... hang on. I can see his face. Remember the guy who used to come in Guitar Center all the time? Definitely older than me.
Fred or me.
No. Long blonde hair. He was a guitar player. He was a shredder dude.
Guy Patterson?
No. He became good friends with Matucci and Bob. I had his name a moment ago. Kevin Blakita.
I don't know.
You don't know Kevin? He bought it from Kevin, who was he had an 80s like cover shred band in Buffalo. They were really he was a phenomenal guitar player. He did call and threaten my life once, but that's besides the point.
Oh my god. Why?
He threatened to kick my ass is what it was, but without saying he would kick my ass. It was a different thing. It was over a misunderstanding about some shit. If this ever gets back to him, hey dude, it's been fucking 18 years. We're cool. But anyway, Joe had bought the guitar from him. I just remember being so impressed with this guitar, not just the guitar, but the tone. I think he had this guitar with the EMGs in it, and then he had, I want to say it was like a Mesa DC-10 combo.
Jeez. Do people use Mesa Boogies anymore?
I think so. Dude, you know what I want? And wow, I'm all over the map. You know what I've wanted for a long time? I want Marshall to make one, and they won't. I want Marshall to make a 2-channel amplifier where both channels are identical in their EQ and gain control. So whenever you have a multi-channel Marshall head, the EQ is either shared, or when you had the triple super lead, which actually had 3 channels, it's not a full EQ for the clean, a full EQ for the dirty, a full EQ for the crunch.
What does EQ stand for?
Equalization.
Okay.
So your bass, mid, treble, right? Presence. Okay. On the recto verb, which was a 50-watt head that Mesa used to make. They haven't made it in a long time.
This is so weird. I honestly pretty sure I only know what you're talking about is because of you guys.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's so
Yeah,
funny.
probably.
I play fucking drums. I'm like, yeah, I actually do know what that is.
I haven't waxed philosophical about this shit in years, so I'm surprised I'm remembering what I'm remembering. But
this is my favorite talk.
They had the
honestly.
Rectoverb 50, and the cool thing about it is that it didn't have the tread plate front. It had the mesh like a Marshall did.
Yeah.
And it was all black, and it still said Mesa, and it had 2 channels instead of 3, like the dual and triple rectifier. And there were no rectifier tubes in it, I don't believe. I think it was just the solid state power. And it had 2 individual channels, A and B, which both had a crunch and a lead on them, right? One could be clean or a little dirty, and the other one was like crunchy or super leady. But it was completely independent. Yeah, this is the bitch right here.
Right here?
And it was a master volume. Tell me they have this.
It's sweet, father.
Wait, no.
Look at it, dude.
Wait. No, it's a dual rectifier. No, Rectoverb 50. No, not dual rectifier. Yeah, Rectoverb 50.
Mesa Bug. What is it?
Rectoverb, Rectoverb.
That one?
50. Yep, there you go. This guy right here. All the way, yeah.
Oh, okay. I do know this.
That's the motherfucker right there. That is just a beautiful piece of machinery.
It really is.
It's just gorgeous. It's all black. Doesn't have the tread plate front, and it was the 2. It had, it was the Master Reverb, Master Volume, and I always wanted one. They stopped making them at least 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
$700 too.
That's cheap. Those things usually went for at least $1,000, going used a few years back. But anyway, I remember him having like a DC-10 combo, and his guitar tone was awesome. And of course, it's all going through this great 1970s analog board into this. I think it was a Studer 2-inch tape reel-to-reel deck, and so that's probably what you're referring to. Back to Steve-O. So his band, the Holy Angels, with
Joel Staniszewski,
Joel
and Hero Clothing. I forgot that guy's name.
Joel.com and Mark. Mark, why am I drawing a blank on your name, bro? I follow him on Instagram now. Oh, I need to put this stuff in the link. Mark Brickey. Okay, so Mark Brickey. I'm going to get back to Steve-O. Mark Brickey. Okay, he was in a band called the Enkindles. Do you remember the Enkindles out of Kentucky?
No.
I'm going to put all this in there. The Enkindles. All right, so he was in a band called the Enkindles in Kentucky, and they were actually...
What was the band name?
The Enkindles.
Yeah, you just said it like 15 times.
I'm going to say it again. So there was Enkindle, which was like a hardcore band, right? And then there was the Enkindles, saying it again, with Mark, and it was like a punk rock outfit. And they had actually come to Buffalo and played a show once, and it was pretty cool. I'm like, oh, that guy's a pretty sweet dude. And Steve-O and Joel and all of them were way more into the scene still than I was, because he was still in bands and I was out.
Yeah. And
Mark actually had moved to Toronto. He built, designed, created, built the first... Do you remember Winamp?
No.
All right, so back when people never owned Apples and everyone owned PCs, the first... online music players were like a pop-up.
MP3.com?
Well, kind of. So it was a pop-up that you could download specific ones, and you could change like their skins and make them look different. And they had different layouts and stuff.
Nevertoolate.cjb.net?
No. It was a media player. Like, you know how there's Windows Media Player?
Yeah.
Okay, predated that. And he created one, and I don't remember what it was called. But he created this thing because he was a coder. He was
Steve?
No, Mark.
Okay.
He was in Toronto and he built this thing and he built a business around this and he owned the copyright on how he built it. And the thing that was cool about it is that it loaded faster than any other player. Remember, computers were slow as fuck.
Yeah.
It loaded faster than any other player. So people wanted to contract with him, so he'd build specific ones for them. So that's how they got hooked up. And he would come down to Buffalo because he met his now wife.
Good for him.
Who was from Buffalo. Eventually, he moves to Buffalo, starts Hero Design, Hero Clothing.
That guy saved my life, by the way.
Mark Brickey did?
Yes.
Oh, they move out to California. He now works for Disneyland. Go. He has a podcast. It's awesome. Disneyland for, I think it's Disney Designs, Disney for Designs. Fuck, guys.
Oh, that's
I'm
crazy.
screwing this up. I'll put it all in.
I hope he fucking remembers this. I hope he listens to this story. But Hero Fest? I don't remember the fucking thing. But he had that After Dark connection, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like
we're ringing them, yeah.
The whole giveaways were amazing. Back then, those fucking shows those dudes put on were like awesome. The Sweet Dude Fest,
yes.
and like they crushed
Sweet Dude Fest?
Dude, they crushed the local thing.
Go on.
So it's my 16th birthday, dude. I am fucking 16 years old.
I remember that.
I go to a Hero show. Somehow I get called up on stage. Right, I get called up on stage, and Mark goes, whatever. Who's ever gonna make out with this dude talking about me? You're gonna get Mighty Mighty Boss Stones tickets and Coheed and Cambria tickets.
Holy shit!
Yeah, this woman walked up on stage.
I would have done that, dude. I would have kissed you for those tickets.
I would have. But anyway,
I would have taken you.
This woman comes up. I don't remember her name. I don't want to like.
Woman or girl?
It was a woman who was kind of.
Heavy chested or heavy set?
Heavy set, but Mark completely fucking ignored her and was like, anybody else? Anybody else?
Oh no.
Anyone else? Anyone? And this blonde haired woman who happened to be very, very beautiful at the time walked up and we made out, and I was like, just give them the all the tickets. I just want the Coheed tickets. But that woman the first woman who came up on stage, she still got the tickets.
Okay.
But it was just really funny. But he was just like, anyone else?
Oh no.
Anyone else? It was like he totally fucking knew that.
Because of the thing too, you were a minor, and it wasn't like you know what I mean. It's like it's not the craziest thing in the world. But you know why you're saying it's not the craziest thing in the world, Nick? It's because you were 16, but you were a boy.
Yeah.
And if it was different, if you were a girl and it was a man, it'd be like, fuck that. That's bullshit. That guy's going to jail.
Yeah. But the
double standard, separate story.
The woman, she was 23, and I remember Dan Erickson being like, "Dude, you made out with a 23-year-old."
Dan Erickson.
Yeah. It was just really funny.
I'm gonna at him too.
I see that dude from time to time. He's a funny dude.
Yeah, Dan's all right. I used to work with him at Panos. We were service together. Yeah. He had this thing he liked to do where he'd take one of our glasses, which was literally like glass, right? And throw it up as high in the air as he could, but not look at it and catch it when it came down.
Oh, he's so funny. I blame his fucking height for that.
Like, right, dude's like 6'7".
To me, he's 7 feet tall.
Yeah, but like we had the vaulted ceiling in the front because there were the 2 stories, and he would just throw it up, not look. I'm like, dude, there's a chandelier there. Paano will kill you. He would catch it. I'm not worried about it. I'm like,
oh, he's so sweet. I forgot about those dudes. Holy cow.
He and his wife play out all the time.
Yeah, that's right. He has a daughter too.
Yeah, 2.
Wow.
I think the second one was born. The second girl was born, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I haven't been on Facebook in a minute because my old phone, which is this one right here.
I don't have Facebook.
Is this looking at you?
I don't know. Right? Is it? I can't tell.
I think it. Right, that's true.
Stay behind it.
Let me take a look. Hang on. Yeah, no, it's working. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah, like you figure I would have checked that shit out first.
This is still on. I'm gonna buy this for you one day when I win the lottery.
Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
I'm gonna win the lottery. I'm gonna buy a whole street.
Gonna buy a street.
Yeah.
Gonna put our own guitar center in. So Mark Brickey saved your life. Mark Brickey moves to Buffalo. Actually, initially was still living in Toronto and commuting to Buffalo every week to play with Steve-O and Joel.com. And who else was in it? There was another guitar player.
Just wanna talk to you.
And
tell you that
Chris
I
Bain.
care.
Do you remember Chris Bain?
Maybe.
He's in Chicago now. He's been in Chicago for a hot minute. And Chris Bain, and they formed that band, the Holy Angels. You remember the Holy Angels?
I remember the Holy Angels.
Okay. So that was the band that was doing I'm getting way back to that Steve-O story. That was the band that did the song when we did one of our digital recording. It was our Pro Tools, I think, entry level one. And Steve-O was supposed to be tracking his guitar stuff. And everyone's like, where the hell did he go? He comes in maybe 15, 20 minutes later, and he's got a flop sweat on his head, and his hair is just soaked, and he just looks like he doesn't look right. I'm like, dude, are you okay? Because like I've been friends with this kid forever. He's like, yeah, I'm all right. And he goes in there, he starts to play, and he's a little off, and he eventually gains his footing and whatever, and they track the song. And later on, I'm just like, dude, what the fuck happened? He goes, so while I was waiting for everybody else to play, I went next door and got a sub, and immediately shit it out.
Oh my God.
He's like, I got sick. He goes, I was in the bathroom sick. He goes, I was throwing up and shitting. Because it gave me immediate diarrhea.
Oh my God.
So that's why I was all sweaty and looked terrible.
Oh, poor guy. Did he feel better after that?
I mean, I think eventually, because when that happens to you, like you give it a few minutes, your body starts to kind of regulate. And you're like, all right,
body's
you don't feel awesome, but
you're
better. But it's like a purge that happens immediately. And that's why he was late to track.
I always accept that if I eat something or like, dude, I'm actually really pissed that this started happening. There's something in Stella Artois that like seriously really messes with me. I can't figure it out. I'll have like a couple of sips and I get vomit ill. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like I really liked that beer too, and like I just don't understand it. But like when I start to feel like that, I'm just like, you just accept it, and then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna throw up, and you just throw up, and it's like, yeah, okay, so much better. But I
Did you
ate.
continue then drinking it and not throw up?
No. I stopped.
Oh.
I haven't had it since.
Oh.
It's actually a really, really funny story. We were in Oklahoma, and it was a really good show, and I just felt like drinking. So I had one fucking Stella, right? And I'm just like, I don't feel good.
And now you don't feel
yeah,
good.
it's like kind of, I'm a little impaired, so I'm like, what is going on? This is weird. Like, I'm not impaired to the point where I'm like, I'm going to throw up. It's like, I'm sick. It was just, I had a beer, and I was having a good time, but it was just not sitting
Yeah, but
right.
something wasn't sitting right, yeah.
And I had forgot that I had got my own hotel room, and we got there.
Just for yourself?
Yeah. And we got at the hotel room around 8:30 in the morning or whatever, and I liked the heat, so I had put the heat on to 90. But I had forgot that I fucking left the heat on 90 all day. So I am fucking,
so you already don't feel well, and there's a fucking sauna in your room.
I am sick as all hell, dude.
And you probably can't open the window either, can you?
The window opened like a hair, because it was like we were on like the 4th floor. It was just a suicide prevention window, so it opened a hair. I walked into a wall of no oxygen. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm breathing okay in the hallway, and I'm like, I gotta get to the bathroom. I'm gonna fucking throw up. I walk into the wall, all the oxygen is gone, and I was like, oh my God. I start throwing up immediately, and like, it was just bad.
That heat just kind of
pushes
it over the edge. Oh.
But the last time that happened, I had a sub from ETS, which I'll never go to again.
Dude, I've never eaten there, and I just hear people all the time say, yeah, I got food poisoning again. I'm like, from there? I'm like, they'll say, yeah.
That was the first time I've ever
why
had
the fuck do you keep going back? Like, I've heard, and this is not... God knows it's the day of litigiousness. I'm not saying anything about it. I've never eaten there. These are all stories I was told. I can't verify any of it. I'm not saying don't go there. All I'm saying is I've heard more than a handful of stories about people going there and getting fucking food poisoning.
Well, it was really good. I enjoyed it. But I went home and I was like, dude, I don't feel good. And I was like, yo, holy shit, that's the sub. And then like I just threw up immediately. Like, you force yourself to throw up, and it's just like, yeah, I feel pretty good now.
Yeah.
I feel much better.
That's a rarity in my life. I haven't had to do that in a very long time.
Yeah, I don't ever want to do that again.
I just remember feeling like, dude, if I don't barf right now, this is going to be a bad night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're dry heaving.
Yeah.
Oof.
Your sinuses get all messed up. You're spitting out blood. Cool. That's a good topic. Do you know, like, so I was getting ready this morning waiting for you to get here, and...
Sorry, I don't know how you become prepared. Did that answer your question?
No, don't worry about it, though.
How did we even ask her a question?
Nope, I don't think I said anything like her name.
Thanks for your feedback.
Make sure you let Amazon know that shit.
Scary.
Looking at the camera. Wow. That's fucking crazy. If we went and watched, I probably said something that sounded like that. Because that's how it gets triggered.
Weird.
It's looking for the trigger word. It's looking for that word.
Which is what?
Her name.
What is her name?
Fuck you.
E? Is it the E?
Alexa. Never mind.
I thought that was the ECHO. The Echo.
That's just what the device is called.
Oh.
But the intelligence, it's like your iPhone has Siri.
Yeah.
That's that. And then
I thought it was called Echo.
No, that's just an Echo Dot.
Oh.
Then the Echo is the taller one, and then they have other different ones. That's just the series of device. The intelligence.
You want to know something really funny?
The AI is that.
My daughter wanted a fucking one of those things, and she saved up her money. Megan went and bought her one.
They're not even that expensive either.
It's so funny.
They're not bad.
She's got it in her room. She'll be like, play this song, and it'll show up. It's so funny.
Yeah. Alexa, play Baby Shark.
No.
Baby Shark by Pink Flung, starting now on Amazon Music.
My son loves this song.
By who? Flung?
Pink Fong, Fong, I think. Anyway, Alexa, stop. Stop. Just stop. I was just flexing my muscles over here.
Capachow.
So I was gonna say, I was getting ready, waiting for you, and you know, finish showering or whatever, you get in the mirror, like my face gets really red from this face wash that I have, but I had to get it to replace one that I had that was a foaming one. It's unimportant. I'll do it. So you're looking real close in the mirror, and then you realize, you know how I keep saying, like, I already consider myself 40, even though I'm not yet. When you can comb your eyebrows When they're so long that you can take a comb to them.
Mine are like that.
Well,
Really bad.
that's true though. I guess it depends on the person. Like when you start to look like Andy Rooney, do you remember him?
No.
So 60 Minutes, the old guy from 60 Minutes with the white hair, like he died a few years ago, but he was with them for years. It's like he would do the op-ed piece. It'd usually be about a 5-minute spot. But why is it that when you go to the movies, everything costs $500? Blah, blah, blah. You don't know who I'm talking about at all?
No.
Fucking Google Andy Rooney real quick.
What's his name?
Andy Rooney. Just so you see his face. Andy, not any. Yeah. This guy.
Oh, okay.
You know Andy. Well, I mean, that's a really old picture. That's at the end of his life. But, you know, he always had some op-ed piece that he did. But anyway, this is what I just always think of him with his giant, like, cats glued to his fucking forehead for his eyebrows because he had these crazy... Look at those fucking eyebrows.
Yeah,
Click on that picture. Gnarly. Look at this. Look at that shit. It's ridiculous. It reminds me of my science teacher in middle school. What was his name? I don't want to say it, but do you remember? Because you went to Sweet Home. You went to Sweet Home Middle, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the two large science teachers?
What about this guy?
I mean, that's on purpose. Do you remember the two really large science teachers who literally were just round balls on legs? Remember the two guys? They had curly hair and glasses, both of them.
There was a guy I remember who had a weird hand.
Yeah.
And he would...
Mr. Bless you.
Thank you.
He was my homework teacher for 1 year and my science teacher for a couple of years. Yeah, no, not him. No, the two guys, they looked like they could have been brothers or related and they weren't. But they had these eyebrows that were super, like twice as thick as yours. And
I don't remember.
No? Anyway.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. So anyway, Andy Rooney. So looking in the mirror. Oh, that's a nice caricature. With those exaggerated, they're not that much of an exaggeration, but it literally looks like, it was Sam Camilleri. He was in my grade, and he took on paper, like he drew these big eyebrows and cut them out, and then he taped them to his eyebrows and goes, "Hey guys, who am I?"
Oh my god!
In the class, and then the fucking teacher walks in and goes, "All right," like acknowledging that's enough.
At least he took the joke.
I fucking get it. Okay, just with the shit.
At least he took the joke.
It was funny though. I don't know.
That's really funny,
dude. I've been thinking about. So baller status got my tax return. I've been thinking about getting those AirPods. We've talked about it a minute, and that's what I want to say about that. If I haven't already, I hear their sound quality is so much better. They're great.
That I know for a fact.
And the new earbuds that come with the new phone, that guy there, the new earbuds that come with the new phones, suck way more than the ones that used to come with the phones when they had the mini plug still.
Really?
Yeah. They fall out of my ears and they don't sound as good.
Oh, mine stay falling out.
The cord's longer, but it's got the lightning bolt plug on it or whatever. But the AirPods rather are supposed to stay in your ears. They're not supposed to fall out even if you like run around and exercise and shit. Rogan said they only fell out when he was doing chin-ups and his shoulder came up and pushed it out of his ear. And when it falls out of your ear, it automatically pauses whatever you're listening to, which is cool. Right? The charge lasts like a full 24 hours. I think it's like 5 straight hours of listening. And they charge, I think, an hour's worth of listening after 15 minutes. So they're pretty cool, right? They're like $150, $160. They're not bad. And this is my thought on this, right? This is what made me think of this. I'm downstairs doing my laundry and I usually have my earbuds in and I've got a podcast playing and I'm almost at full volume just because, I want to hear the conversation in my head. And a dude comes up behind me to come to the elevator for our side of the building. And he's just got his, probably a Samsung, out, full volume speaker watching a video. All right, now I realize you're in the basement of a building, but it's a residential place. All right, there's other people here. There's 60 units in this building. Put that person anywhere else in any other communal area, right? If you don't have headphones of any kind, earbuds, whatever, those old ones from the 80s with the little fucking foam pads, you don't get to listen to the video. You're an asshole. You're a piece of shit and you're an asshole. You don't get to listen to the fucking video or the sound on what you're watching if you don't have them and you're not in your own fucking house.
So in other words, buy AirPods.
Or earbuds. They come with the fucking phones. They all come with phones. Or phones all come with them. You don't get to fucking, you don't get to hear it. You don't get to hear it. No sound for you. You're a dick. When people FaceTime in public, It's already an embarrassment. If they FaceTime in public without earbuds, you're a piece of shit. Don't do it.
My earbuds broke, actually.
Dude, you can buy replacement ones. They're pretty cheap. Even non-Apple ones, you can buy them for $10 at fucking the drugstore.
Hold on, AirPods.
I think I might get them. But my point is that though, if you're not in your own private space, your home or your car, you don't get to hear the sound on your phone. You don't. You're not allowed. Fuck you. Sorry.
Fuck that.
I'm meaning to talk about that for a minute and because I ran into him 3 times in like 2 weeks.
Is he still
I don't do
doing it?
laundry that often. Thank God my stop's the first floor. Basement, first floor. Done.
Well,
The audacity to think that anybody wants to hear
Buy him
whatever
some
bullshit
pods.
you're listening to. No, buy your own fucking pods. I'm not buying you anything.
Did you get the Avengers? Have you seen this yet? You're still behind.
I'm way behind. Still behind. I'm the same amount behind.
USO.
I'm the same amount behind.
The truth behind claims AirPods cause cancer.
Dude, everything causes cancer. Dude, did you listen to the I haven't listened to the whole thing. The Alex Jones, the most recent one with Rogan.
I listened to the majority of it.
Did you hear the part where he's talking about how he goes 5G causes cancer? They approve, and all these cell companies are supposed to be switching to 5G.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I mean, cool. I don't know. What do you want? I want it faster. I want it faster. I want it now. I guess I'm gonna get cancer.
It fucks with our brains, though.
It's different though. I don't know the science behind it, obviously. But do you remember Johnny Cochran? He was one of the defense lawyers for OJ.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There was that character on Seinfeld that was modeled after him. That was the attorney for Kramer when he spilled the hot coffee on his lap, and then when he started smoking for Marlboro, he was going to be the Marlboro Man, and his face got really aged.
God.
I can't remember the guy's name, but it was the same idea. It was Johnny.
Yeah.
It was Johnny Cochran. It was what he was modeled after. That dude died some 15 something years ago, maybe, from brain cancer. And it was on the side of his head that he always used that Zach Morris brick phone.
Shit.
And that's all that I know that I saw on an article of a thing in a Facebook post some years ago that I didn't do any information to verify, I didn't do any research. I just went, I could see that being a thing. That's not...
Especially with that big-ass phone.
Right? Because that worked on a different system. That was different, right? The way cellular networks now is different than the way they used to work. It's on a different frequency and shit. It's a different whole thing.
Who knows? That's crazy, though.
Yeah.
Brain cancer from a Zach Morris phone.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I mean, that's the supposing was the reason. It just happened to be on the same side of his head that he always held the phone, and that was like he was always on it because he was this high profile lawyer, so he was always talking to people and whatever. It was like
car phones.
I do. My uncle used to have one.
My dad
years
had
and
one.
years and years ago. He had a Cadillac. I don't know. It was a 2-door, so it was supposed to be sportier, but he treated it like garbage. And I remember him having a car phone. I'm like, that's crazy. And he's like, it's really expensive. Don't ever touch it. Rogan had one.
A car phone.
When he first moved to LA, I want to say, after whatever first show he was supposed to be on, he had gotten a car phone installed because he wanted to be able to get calls from his agent and stuff if he had like offers come up and stuff. Well, he was still like doing comedy gigs and shit. And I think that they Googled it, and I want to Google it. When was the car phone invented? I want to say it was like 1920s to 1940s, somewhere in there. Something crazy. Like before, like... No, that's not right. No, that's not right. No, because it goes way back. It was... Because he's brought it up a few times, and I think Jamie probably fucking bookmarked it. It went back to, like... Because the government had it, like military and government officials had it, like the president and shit. See, it keeps going back. How do the cars working? No, that's not right. Wait, I saw something that said 46. What? Mobile television? No, not a mobile television service. I don't know. But it was something crazy old, like an insane amount of time ago, that they actually had invented car phones and like dignitaries and presidents in it. Yeah.
The first car telephones.
You know what's funny now is if I see somebody like in a car that looks relatively new and I see them on their phone.
What about this one?
It could be. Let me see. First child connected public switch. 46 response to growing mobility. Americans. And it's more in line with what I know that he's said a number of times. I don't know if that's the article that they saw, but that's pretty crazy though, that it was that old.
Yeah, right.
But if I see you in a car that looks relatively new and I don't see any rust on it, and I see you on your phone, I assume there's at least Bluetooth in there, and I scream at you. But then I go, they only started putting Bluetooth in regular cars like just a few years ago.
My microphone doesn't work in my car. I got to figure it out.
You said that. There's got to be...
It's every time I plug my Apple CarPlay in, it says hands-free disconnected. I don't know how to fix that.
That's the opposite of what it should be.
Yeah.
Huh.
Who knows?
I don't. But we've talked about touring today, drumming, birthdays, getting older, long eyebrows. Mark Brickey, Joel.com,
Mesa
Steve-O,
heads.
food poisoning, Mesa heads, new phones. You got to wear earbuds or fuck you don't get to listen to the sound in public.
What else did we talk about? I don't know.
There's a lot of it. Whew. It's warm in here.
It's definitely fucking hot in here.
When it started, you're like, oh, I'm fine. I'm good. I had this window's open.
It's definitely hot now.
Got this hat on and the shirt because I'm trying to look good for you fucking people. God knows why.
I have
Charlotte Johansson,
yes,
right?
34 years old.
Eating too much hot sauce.
34 is young.
You know what it was? I was mistaken. She didn't throw up. They had given her some rice to try to help mellow the hot, and she spit it out, and she goes, "That's the worst rice I've ever tasted."
Oh my God.
That's what it was. But it looked like she was going to barf. So
Yeah.
that's when I paused it and went, I have to put this video out. Like rice? Really?
I like rice. I want rice right now.
Yeah, it's just so bland. But I guess if you're trying to mellow the capsaicins. Fuck, man, I don't know. But look, everybody, it's good to be back. We hope that you enjoy the show. Please, these videos will be up on our YouTube channel, the Apartment 83 Podcast. Please like and subscribe. Subscribe and don't even watch them if you don't want to.
We like to subscribe.
The subscribe is good. It's good. It does. It's zero responsibility on you to do anything. You just click a button, go cool. Oh, and then you just ignore it like you ignore everything else, because that's what I do. And I think we're all pretty similar in this. Yeah, this is good. It's been a minute, but it's good to be back. And
feels nice to talk.
Yeah. I want comments to tell me how bad my posture is.
I got pretty bad posture right now that you said it.
Yeah. No, I'm Bernie Sandersing over here. I got that mid chest neck situation. Looked at me from behind. I don't have a head. Did we just end the podcast?